A couple of months ago, at the end of August, we received the heartbreaking news that Hamas terrorists executed 6 Israeli hostages, among them an American citizen. This cowardly act of murder immediately brought back emotions from October 7th, the day that Palestinian terrorists abducted those victims, along with hundreds more, and murdered more than 1,000 people. It also brought back memories from other dark chapters in Jewish history, such as the Holocaust, the Kishinev pogroms, the Farhud in Iraq, the Inquisition, and more. But just when it seems the darkness is completely overwhelming the light, we hear voices of courage, compassion, and generosity from those we once considered enemies. Their gestures of kindness bring hope and life to broken hearts. Their messages of truth offer feelings of security to those of us in bewilderment by the masses falling for lies. These people offer optimism for a better future. I've been encouraged by a minority of Palestinians who have been expressing solidarity with their Jewish cousins. I'd like to share some messages with you. One such expression came from an anonymous Palestinian whose letter was recently printed in the Free Press, a new media outlet founded by Barry Weiss. I'd like to read a few lines from his or her message. To my neighbors, to my supposed enemies, these have been the darkest of days for you. They have been dark for me too. All I want to do is give you a hug, but I cannot do that. The reason that this letter is anonymous is because I fear for my life. This letter is a small gesture, but it is all I can do right now. It is my way of insisting that you and I share something fundamental, our humanity. For me, all lives are sacred. I can't speak for my people any more than a single Israeli can speak for all of you. But still, I feel compelled to say, I'm sorry. Please accept my sincere apologies. I regret that we have failed you. I regret that my people have failed you. I may be just one voice, but it's important for me to say, as a Palestinian, I mourn with you and stand by your side. I would like to say that we mourn with these people too. The Islamic terror group that has devastated Israel has been devastating the Palestinian people for decades, and they brought an unwanted war into their front and backyard. I encourage you to hear from more anonymous voices by going to the Center for Peace Communications website and listening to any of their collection of Whispered in Gaza. It is for the very reason that these people are legitimately afraid to speak, that Israel must keep fighting to remain free. Some Palestinians have managed to escape the grip of the terrorists that have inhibited their freedom to speak. Hamza Hawidi, a former prisoner of Hamas, told Newsweek, as a Gazan and as a Palestinian, I want the protesters on college campuses and the organizer of this protest to know that their hateful speech harms us. The Jewish person or Israeli you are intimidating during your rally may be the granddaughter of a Holocaust survivor or a family member of an Israeli slain or abducted by Hamas on October 7. These people could be your partners if the protests were truly about achieving lasting peace and justice for both Palestinians and Israelis. He continued, all these foolish dreams about eradicating Israel are disgusting and will never be achieved. Both Palestinians and Israelis are here to stay. If the protesters cared about Palestinians, they would have one central demand: Hamas must surrender. We have all suffered under Hamas, and we can no longer live under the rule of a terrorist group. Only then can a ceasefire be achieved. And then there is Musab Hassan Youssef, the son of a founding Hamas leader who rose to fame from the documentary The Green Prince. He has said of Hamas, which by the way is an acronym for the Arabic translation of Islamic Resistance Movement, that they don't care about the Palestinian people. They are using the Palestinian cause to achieve their own goals, transforming the Middle East and the world into an Islamic state. And then there is activist Yasmin Mohammed, whose late father was from Gaza. She is constantly speaking and posting on social media in support of the people of Israel, against Hamas, against the lies, and for the Palestinian people to be free from Hamas. The late Rabbi, Lord Jonathan Sachs, said that when a person looks down, they see only the challenges, the difficulties, and obstacles that can lead to surrender and despair. The only way to preserve spiritual energy is by looking toward the distant horizon of hope. Even a small nation, he said, that constantly looks up despite historical difficulties is a nation destined to experience great achievements. We can hold on to hope and optimism, not only with people like the aforementioned, but also with the quiet yet successful 4th anniversary of the Abraham Accords, a series of bilateral agreements on Arab-Israeli normalization signed between Israel, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Sudan, and Morocco. Despite the current turmoil in the Middle East, there is still room for hope. I pray that Israel's other neighbors will also be able to look peacefully and progressively toward that distant horizon with great anticipation. In this way, new hopes can be instilled in their children, and prosperity and peace can become a reality, making the world a better place. The Abraham Accords highlight the pursuit of shared interest and the incredible potential the region holds. I encourage you to attend this afternoon service when our young congregant, this year's Book of Jonah speaker, Cassidy McGoldrick, will talk more about the Abraham Accords with the knowledge of her position as the program assistant for the Abraham Accords and 7 initiative with the Atlantic Council's Middle East programs. I hear the peaceful voices coming from Gaza and the disputed territories. Like them, I wish the Palestinians would eventually have a leadership that would allow their people to experience a better life, one built on kindness, compassion, and generosity, with an ideology of living side by side with their neighbors rather than tearing them down. And though it will be some time before Israel too can rebuild what Hamas destroyed on October 7th and Hezbollah since, the people lost will remain in our hearts eternally. We must and we will continue to build our future wherever in the world we are, while keeping those beautiful lives lost by the hatred of others in our hearts. It is a formula for harmonious living, if only it would be adopted by all. May we continue to embrace life, progress, and hope, never allowing the hatred of others to define our path. Let us draw from our collective experiences to create a better tomorrow, filled with peace, prosperity, and understanding. May the coming year be one of growth, unity, peace, and renewal for all. And let us say, Amen.
Oseh Shalom, Shalom. במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועמו אמן. הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל אמן. עושה שלום שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועמו אמן. ועל כל ישראל ועמו אמן.
גמר חתימה טובה. I hope to see you later today at our services. 3 p.m. children service, 3:30 healing service with Tutti and Ron. 4:30 Mincha afternoon service with our guest, the Book of Yonah speaker, Cassidy McGoldrick, and a conclusion, Ne'ilah, at 5:45. I hope to see you then. גמר חתימה טובה.